What if the life you built is an apology for existing? What you're about to realize might make you question every choice you've ever made. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and truly recognized the person staring back? Not the face you present to the world, but the one that exists when the mask comes off. We navigate a labyrinth of expectations, from family, from careers, from the silent pressures of a society that constantly whispers who you should be. But in this relentless pursuit of approval, we commit the greatest betrayal of all: we abandon ourselves. The most important yes you'll ever say is to your own soul. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung presented us with a radical, terrifying, and ultimately liberating idea, that true wholeness only emerges when we dare to choose our own being above the chorus of external demands. This isn't about egotism. It's about foundation. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. Every time you silence an inner longing to meet an outer expectation, you fracture your own spirit. You send a message to your deepest self that it is secondary. That quiet ache, that persistent sense of unease when something feels misaligned? That is not a flaw. It's a signal. It is your psyche, your unconscious, trying to guide you home. And the cost of ignoring it is far greater than you've been led to believe. So let me ask you, how many of your recent decisions sprung from a place of genuine inner conviction? How many were instead born from fear? The fear of disappointing others, the fear of breaking from the script, the fear of the unknown terrain that lies beyond your comfort zone. Jung understood that a life built on these fears is a life of internal civil war. Decisions not rooted in your own truth create chaos. They build a house on sand. The further you stray from your essence, the more profoundly lost you will feel. But here is the crucial distinction: to choose yourself is not to reject the world. It is to become solid enough within yourself to engage with it authentically. It is the principle of self-respect. This is not a luxury or an escape. It is the bedrock. When you begin to prioritize this inner alignment, a subtle but powerful shift occurs in your energy. You start to repel what is not meant for you and attract circumstances and connections that resonate with your true frequency. The universe, in a sense, begins to conspire with your authenticity. To get there, however, you must be willing to walk into the dark. This journey demands that you turn and face your shadows, the disowned parts of yourself, the traumas, the insecurities, the instincts you've been taught to hide. Jung saw the shadow not as an enemy to destroy, but as a fragment of your wholeness that you have exiled. Integrating these shadows is not an act of self-indulgence, it is an act of immense courage. It is uncomfortable, even painful. But within that confrontation lies a staggering power you never knew you possessed. This integration brings clarity. It brings purpose. It brings a peace so unshakable that external storms cannot topple it. You gain the ability to say no without guilt and yes without reservation. So, where do you begin? The answer is deceptively simple, yet profoundly difficult. You start by listening. Truly listening. The next time you feel that knot in your stomach, that tightening in your chest, or that whisper of doubt, pause. Do not numb it. Do not distract yourself. Ask it, what are you trying to tell me? Your intuition is not a mystical fantasy, it is your unconscious mind communicating in the only language it knows, through sensation and symbol. As Jung himself suggested, the wisdom you seek from gurus, from books, from external authorities, is already present within you. You just need the bravery to attend to it. But what happens when that inner voice asks you to leave everything you know? Perhaps it's pointing to a relationship that has long since run its course. A career path that drains your vitality but feels too secure to leave. A dream you've shelved because it seemed impractical. We cling to the familiar, even when it withers our soul, because the terror of the unknown feels greater than the pain of the known. We rationalize, better the devil I know. Yet Jung challenges us to see change not as a catastrophic ending, but as a necessary initiation, a doorway you must walk through to meet the person you are destined to become. Letting go is not a loss. It is making space for your soul to breathe. So, reflect now. What are you gripping onto out of habit or fear? What belief, what commitment, what identity are you maintaining at the expense of your inner peace? Releasing these things may feel like a loss. But the true tragedy is to sacrifice your essence just to hold on to a ghost. The choice is perpetually before you. And perhaps the most vital question you can ask in this moment is, am I ready, finally, to choose me? This decision sends a seismic signal through your entire existence. It's as if a fog lifts from your perception. For the first time, you see with stark clarity. People who are aligned with your truth will find you. Those who are only present for the version of you that please them will naturally drift away. This is not a personal failure, it is a cosmic realignment. Jung called meaningful coincidences synchronicity, a mysterious linking of inner states and outer events. When you align with your truth, The external world begins to mirror that alignment back to you. Doors open. Resonant people appear. Life begins to flow. Yet this path will test your resolve in ways you cannot predict. Choosing yourself requires a brutal, radical honesty. You must look at your past choices, the times you betrayed your boundaries to keep the peace, the dreams you deferred, and do so without self-judgment. See them not as failures, but as data. As an invitation to choose differently now. Authenticity is not a finish line you cross, it is a direction you walk, every single day. And on this walk, you will face resistance. The world, accustomed to your compliance, will push back. Doubts will swarm. The old, familiar script will call to you, promising safety. Remember this, true growth never occurs inside the comfort zone. The most significant transformations are forged in the fires of uncertainty. Not everyone will understand your choice. Some will criticize. Some will distance themselves. This can be painful, yes. But it signifies a profound shift. You are no longer sourcing your worth from external approval. Your value becomes an internal decree. This doesn't mean isolation. It means your relationships evolve. You no longer seek validation, you seek connection. You no longer tolerate drains, you cultivate nourishment. Your inner world projects onto your outer reality. If you harbor internal conflict, you will attract chaotic situations. If you live in self-rejection, you will encounter rejection from the world. But if you choose self-acceptance, you will start to witness a reflection of that acceptance all around you. This process is gradual. There will be days you feel you've taken 3 steps back. This is the crucible. Your commitment is tested not when it's easy, but when every fiber wants to revert. We are often taught that self-sacrifice is the highest virtue. But what becomes of a well that gives water to everyone yet is never refilled? It runs dry. Choosing yourself is the act of returning to that well and replenishing it. It is the ultimate act of responsibility. From a place of wholeness, what you offer to others is genuine, not a desperate transaction. Now, imagine the life that becomes possible when you release what no longer serves you. Picture the lightness, the mental space, the vibrant energy that returns when you stop carrying the weight of other people's expectations. This is not a fantasy. It is a possible reality, waiting for your decision. You are not losing by letting go, you are making sacred space for what truly matters. You are constructing a life of purpose, not performative duty. This is the gift Jung pointed toward. Real transformation begins not when you find something new, but when you rediscover what was always there, buried beneath layers of conditioning. When this happens, you feel genuinely alive. The heavy armor of should begins to fall away. You breathe freely. This liberation demands courage. It asks you to face the internal critic, that voice that whispers you're not enough. That voice is not truth. It is an echo of old wounds. Every time you act despite its screams, you dismantle its power. As you walk this path, a remarkable thing occurs. The endless chase for validation loses its allure. Comparison fades. You find a deep contentment in simply being who you are. And in that authenticity, you discover a formidable power, not power over others, but power within yourself. An unshakable connection to your core. This power is unstoppable because it is true. And your transformation becomes a beacon. By simply living as yourself, you give others silent permission to do the same. Your journey creates ripples in the collective consciousness. But it is not a straight line. There will be peaks of clarity and valleys of doubt. See the valleys not as failure, but as invitations to dig deeper, to integrate more fully. You are not alone. As you align, you will find guides, resources, and community that resonate. Sometimes, it will be a conversation, a book, or a channel like this one that speaks to you at the perfect moment. These are not accidents, they are synchronicities, confirming your direction. The greatest gift you can give yourself and the world is to be unapologetically, irrevocably you. Not the curated persona, but the raw, real, imperfect, and beautiful essence. The work is not out there. It is in here. And everything you've been searching for has been within, all along. Life is too fleeting to live as a ghost in your own story. The time to start is not tomorrow. It is now. The moment to listen to your intuition, to honor a longing, to set a boundary, is today. Because when you choose yourself, you do more than change your life, you alter the very energy you bring into the world. And now, what will you do with this realization? This is your moment to reflect. What in your life feels authentically yours? What feels like a borrowed costume? What single step can you take today to honor your true essence? Remember, every small, authentic choice is a revolution. And if this message resonated with you, help it find its way to others. Like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Your engagement helps this channel, Winds of Thought, reach more seekers on the path. Imagine the community we can build, a sanctuary for those choosing authenticity over approval. I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, what is the first thing you will choose for yourself this week? Your words create connection and inspire others. If you haven't yet, subscribe to Winds of Thought and tap the bell. Together, let's explore the depths of what it means to be truly human. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. But most of all, thank you for the courage it takes to choose yourself. The world needs the real you. I'll see you in the next video.